And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Papa Don't Preach. Thanks for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, our friend, our family, Bennett Miller back on the pod. Big shout out to Brennan, who filled in for your seat while you were gone. Bennett!
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Good to be back in the seat.
Nice. You were in Vegas, right?
I was in Vegas. Our niece turned 21, so like any good 21-year-old, she invited her family to go visit and hang out with her. So it was a lot of fun. Nat, my wife's family are big gamblers.
Oh,
my family are gamblers too.
Oh my God.
So we've collectively gone to Vegas a lot of times between family and work.
okay.
And it was a really fun trip. We haven't gone since the pandemic. And Vegas is really, the collective entity at the city of Vegas is very good at finding out what you like if you're not a gambler.
Yes.
So what I like is good fucking food at our hours of the day. And they're like, so they collectively, all the hotels decided to find the best restaurants in all the countries and put them in with walking distance.
Yes.
So that's what I ate like every meal. I didn't waste a meal.
Oh, no.
So that was good. I maybe gambled like $5 pressing the
I don't gamble anymore.
me neither, like pressing the old slot button
The little
every
slots.
once in a while.
Playing the slots.
With like Cindy or Tony, like my parent,
Yeah, that was like
all
my
the in-laws.
when I was younger, that was like my trick. I'm like, I can just sit at the slot machine, put $5 in, and get a free drink. But I'm just like, $100 later, this drink got real expensive.
It is. That's
It's
I look at it
horseshit.
as I also I could just people watch and drink and. I was talking to Blaine before the show. We were there that weekend. It was the fight weekend, which we could see out of our window, like the Coliseum where they're doing the fight.
Oh shit!
Life is Beautiful weekend, and at our hotel we were staying at, the Aerosmith has a residency. So around
like the air, like
like Love in an Elevator, like
Holy
the
shit.
Aerosmith is there. So 11 o'clock Saturday night, crowd got real fucking weird. You got the Aerosmith crowd, you got the fight crowd, you got the Life is Beautiful crowd, all on the casino floor.
It's like the
like,
Hobbit
yeah,
or
like-
the Five Armies right
Like,
there.
me and Nat were talking to each other like, shit's gonna go down. Like, we got to get out of here. And security was just following. It was a weird vibe, and that's another thing about Vegas. It's fucking weird. I like weird.
Oh yeah, I'm still gonna get a group. Like last time I was in Vegas, we still had the entity of the group that wanted to hit the bars and the clubs and but like there's I want to go to Area 51. I want to do their VR. Like there's really cool shit in Vegas that I want to waste my money on that I can't do anywhere else. So, the Meow Wolf in Vegas is incredible. I went to the one in Denver, and then if you guys don't know, Meow Wolf, incredible. Please go.
I don't know. Tell me, what is this?
Meow Wolf is like, I don't even know. It's like a interactive art experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single thing is a piece of art. Like it's like it's completely interactive. Like the one in Denver, you go through a door, you're exiting out of a school bus, and you walk around, and the floor is built like a post-apocalyptic corner of New York almost, and there's like signs on the wall. It just looks like you're in a different city, and everything was built. You go into the music, you walk into one room, and this robot they have like deconstructed instruments that's being played by an AI. It's really cool. The person who tried to explain it to me said it's almost indescribable, and I agree. Like you just have to go, and yeah, it's just you walk in there, and you can easily be in there for 5 hours just walking around, going, "Oh my God." And it's big and it's cool. But yeah, Mal Wolf, I suggest everyone check it out. But hey, summer's over. Fat Dad Falls.
Fat Dad Falls happening.
Fat Dad Fall.
Bring out my shorts, my slightly longer shorts, my slightly thinner jacket, and we're good to go.
I'm done with the heat. I live in LA, and like once you're done with summer, you're like, oh, bring it on. But then you really don't get a piece of rain till December.
No, like that's one of the things I love about LA is like you wake up and it's kind of crisp in the morning, and it's finally feeling like that again, and that's the best.
Yeah, I like cold in the morning, hot during the day, cold in the evening.
Yeah, light jacket for dinner.
Yes.
Welcome to fucking LA, buddy.
That's
what I want. Come on.
That's what I like. That's what I like. I know we didn't get to talk about it because you were gone, but did you watch the Emmys?
I'm not an award show person. I don't have like a big stance against them. I'd just rather watch something else for 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm not a big awards person anymore. I used to be. Like I used to watch the Globes, the Oscars, the Grammys.
Honestly, before it's so odd because like before, like when I was like a film student back in the day, it seemed so important to me, and now like mutually we know people that go to the Emmys every year because they're nominated.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh shit, look at them, look at that.
Yeah, he'll be like, hey, oh look at that, that's crazy.
It's that's how I feel now. But also, it's the news I saw. It's like. It's so hit or miss to all the award shows. It's like sometimes they're really on the ball, and sometimes they like Better Call Saul didn't win anything.
That's
fucking outrageous. Like anybody who watches anything ever could know. Like he's a goddamn all the performances of that show were fucking spectacular.
Yeah,
and it's like shit like that. It's like or like the fact that Michael Scott, whatever his real name is, never won an Emmy for like a career making performance.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It's like, oh, well, I mean, you clearly don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, like the Emmys was any type of award show when it's not like it doesn't even seem like it's based on merit, and like it doesn't seem like oh this was obviously the best it's going to win. It's they scrape together 5 shows, and sometimes there's only 5 shows in a category. They have these different categories that are kind of like best competition singing show, and you're like, there's 3 of them. Like, well, okay. I did see Michael Keaton. Dope sick. Like, I mean, anybody who watched that show, you'd be like, obviously.
He was ridiculous in that show. Yeah.
Man, incredible. I hate after award shows, especially after the Oscars, I guess we call it the slap. That's just the reference, the slap.
What's the slap?
That's
I'm so out of
Will's an actor by
Jesus Christ.
The slap.
I thought it's like an acronym for award show season. I was like, this is new, but no, yes. I'm familiar with the assault that we all watch on television, and we just went about our lives.
Yeah. So after these award shows, you see these like trending stories of like controversy, and sometimes I'm just kind of like, is it? I think you're calling more attention to some bullshit. Like, there was a story. I forgot this woman, this black woman. I think she was in. There's a new HBO show, Abbott Elementary.
Oh yeah.
Which is, say what?
ABC.
Abbott Elementary is ABC. Oh, I thought nice. I thought it was on HBO Max. Oh, look at that! Look at that! HBO Max and ABC. It's a real show. Cross platforms. Who would have thunk?
It's actually right here, right now on this card.
Yeah, look at that!
It's on everything.
It's projecting right now. Oh my god! I wish you guys were in here. But yeah, apparently a woman won. She went up there. Jimmy Kimmel.
Quinta Brunson.
Quinta Brunson. Quinta Brunson. That's her name. Yeah, she apparently was giving her speech, and Jimmy Kimmel had this bit. He was visibly drunk and just laid on stage during her speech, and they're like, "This is so disrespectful." And I'm like, "Is that really? Who cares?"
Is it? So was he drunk or was it a bit?
He was drunk. It was a bit that he did where they had to like drag him on stage, and like he just laid there. It's a whole.
So
I was trying to watch
middle
clips
of her acceptance speech.
Yeah, I mean, during the speech, like he's the one that I think that announced her and then did this whole thing, and I don't know, man. I
mean, I think just like race aside, everything aside, if you're a fucking performer that's won an award and someone's trying to upstage you, fuck them.
Very true. True.
Like this is your moment. Like strip everything away. Like I won the award for whatever the fuck it is. And some dude's trying to make a joke behind me, fuck off, man. Like you can have the microphone back in 30 seconds. you can make yucks in 90 seconds. Give me my time.
I like getting people tanked and see what the fuck they do.
I mean, of course, but I'm
pretty sure Will Smith was stone sober when he decided to walk on stage and slap Chris Rock. So you never know. But it's fucking award shows. But I never saw Abbott Elementary. Because it won, I started watching it. And it's actually a fantastic show.
It's one of those shows that I've caught in passing from like various people watching it. And it's like, oh yeah, this is like everything I've caught a glimpse of seems entertaining, which is not like most shows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting to see what I think the best part of the Emmys or like award shows. It does inspire you to check something out.
Yeah.
Like Rotten Tomatoes is great, but I only go for those audience scores. Sometimes
What do the people want?
Yeah, what the people want. Because sometimes you'll see something, 95%. Ooh, the audience gave it a 30. And I'm like, I'm going with that. Like, I don't want to mess with that. That doesn't seem good. But I wanted to talk to you about something that I know is going to like make you very angry. But you hear, it's not funny, but I think sometimes I don't know if people are just like stupid or evil and stupid. But you hear about this Martha's Vineyard, Ron DeSantis little stunt?
Oh, it's fucking, yeah. Fucking asshole. And he's not the only one. Fucking Abbott was doing it too.
Yeah, it's something that's been happening for a long time. Like, these guys aren't original. Like, I know, like, Utah was busing homeless people to L.A., and L.A. was busing them to fucking San Francisco. Like, shipping out your unfortunate and your immigrants it's a tradition as old as time.
It's a tradition as old as time.
It's terrible. But just the lengths that he went to of like recruiting people that are like they're in Texas.
First off, not even in fucking Florida.
They're not in Florida. They're not in his state. He went to another state.
He's also admitted that it's not that illegal immigration is not an overwhelming problem in Florida. He's literally just doing it because he wants to be Donald fucking Trump Jr.
Yeah, he just wants to be in the news.
He wants to like suck up the horrible human being vote, which has been isolated by Donald Trump for so long. And he sees the writing on the wall. Like, Trump is not going to be able to run again. But Ron DeSantis is like, hey, I'm a scumbag. I could do scumbag shit. People love scumbag shit. Look, this guy could do literally anything. He's like, literally, I saw an interview today where he's like, Trump was talking about declassifying information. He's like, well, I could just think about it. This motherfucker just said he could think about it and declassify information.
Yeah, what an idiot.
Like, it's like, that's who he's shooting for, is like the horrible, disgusting human being vote.
Dude, like,
it's so fucking reprehensible to use people as a fucking as a puppet, as an object. It reminds me of this one thing. This is before Trump was elected. It is one of those things that, like, if there wasn't a nail in the coffin before, this is one of the things. It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen a human being do.
Yeah.
It was at a Trump rally. He had victims of people that had been killed by illegal immigrants on stage with him.
Oh my God.
He had oversized photos of the victims on stage with him. And at the end of his speech, he went and autographed the face of these dead people, one by one. Like, what fucking megalomaniacal piece of trash. Like, head up his own fucking ass, autographing my dead fucking relative's forehead on Fox News. See, this is and Ron DeSantis is like, yeah, that's what I want.
He's like, I want to be that person.
Give me that, yeah, give me that.
I want to be that person.
That's the one I want.
I can't imagine, like, the people of Florida. Like, I don't care if I was a scumbag too. That seems ridiculous to spend money on. Like, I'm not even sure if it was like a friend of his or a contractor, but it was like $660,000 to charter 2 planes.
Yeah,
like that. Like, in what world does it cost over $500,000 to charter 2 planes from Florida to Martha's Vineyard?
Well, I think they're going to find out that, like, it wasn't a fly-by-night thing. I think they had, lack of a better term, propaganda material they gave these people to, like, promise them better things. They had organization, and of course you got to fucking take some of that money off the top.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If we're doing shady shit, I want some of that shady money in my pocket, boss.
Dude.
You know, like, that's what I want. If I'm a shady motherfucker, which we know they are,
dude,
they literally kidnapped people and what I fucking love is that, like, super white Martha's Vineyard, all these stuck-up assholes immediately jump to their help.
Fucking.
It's like, and the thing is, that's the world we do live in. We live in with the world with these incomprehensible fucking assholes like Ron DeSantis who don't see people, who just see political fucking cardboard cutouts. And there's people in Martha's Vineyard who, you say Martha's Vineyard to me, I think stuck-up white aristocrat.
Yeah, but
they're in a second to help people, and also full of lawyers that are going to work for free.
Yeah, and it's off season.
Yeah.
All those houses are empty. It's just the people who work and live there. It's like who's.
It's so frustrating and gets me so fucking hot under the collar because it just treating people less than people, or like it's. I think we only get one shot at this.
Yeah.
If we're gonna get real let's get real deep. I think we only get one shot of this. I don't think there's a heaven. I don't think there's a hell. I think we just get this.
Yeah.
So anything you do to make someone else's life harder, more difficult, fuck you.
Yeah.
And especially if you're using people like fucking puppets and like for political gain, a special fuck you.
There's a special place in the abyss of the ground where the earthworms will decompose your body, where pieces of shit are striving to be.
Yeah.
I think like they might even have the secret. They might have been like, oh, there is nothing. I'm going to be an asshole because being nice is too hard. Being a decent human being seems difficult.
No.
Ah, man.
The best he can be is worm food, in my opinion. That's his best outcome. The best outcome is he could be manure in one day.
Man. DeSantis
Is that
is
too harsh?
No.
Is that too much?
I want to wear that on a shirt. That's
Yeah.
good. The best you can be is fucking dirt amoeba food.
Well, it's like, there's a line from Hamlet. It's like, even a king will, go through a worm through, I can't remember. But it's like kings and beggars both go the same to the mouth of a worm. Like, in the end, that's what they fucking are.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Thanks for misquoting Shakespeare, everybody.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, moving on.
Speaking of Shakespeare, you ever heard that conspiracy theory that Shakespeare didn't write any of that shit?
I have heard it, or that he's multiple people and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the more and more I dive into this wormhole, it becomes more and more interesting of just like, if this fucking nobody who was a playwright had access to the inner workings of, monarchs and the high class, I'm like, well, maybe, because like, maybe, he wasn't, maybe he did write it, but like, Prince Charles the First or whatever was going up, like, yo, write this shit. I want to take my whole family and put them on blast at your show. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I think that we are often in this present, like, often undercut the people in the past. Like, there's no way that they could do this. Like, but like, like Beethoven wrote all that fucking music. Mozart wrote, like, those people existed. It's like to get bring it always back to racism, but like the fact that like the giant stone pyramids and all over the world, like, there's no way that like brown people could have did it. Like, aliens had to come help them do that, despite the fact that like, well, they fucking did it, y'all. Like, it's up there. Like, you seen the UFO parts hanging around? Like, they all did it. And like, you give blocks to any kid, like, they're gonna make a tower. That's just natural human instinct.
Yeah.
Like, they just figured out how to do it, and you can't. And you think, well, aliens.
Yeah, no way. They didn't have a crane back then.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense. Doesn't compute.
Yeah, I don't know how to use a lever, so they obviously don't either.
We are resourceful beings, and we should remember that as we pass history on to our children.
So anyway, the Emmys.
So anyway, Emmys, womp womp. Did you watch the Queen's funeral?
I did not.
Do you care about the Queen?
No, I don't.
Oh shit!
No, I don't.
You guys heard it here, exclusive.
I know it's a super hot take. I'm surprised the alarm's not going off.
When the Queen died, I got a text. The Queen's dead, and my first thing was like, Queen who? Latifah? Like, no, the Queen. Didn't she die like 4 years ago? No, the Queen of England is alive. I'm like, oh yeah, England has a queen. And now that all this shit's been coming out, I was like, holy shit, I do not care at all.
No,
I don't care one shit.
I I definitely get it. Like, she's on all their money. Like, it's literally been around she's been around since World War I. Like, this broad's seen some shit,
It's crazy.
Obviously been a part of a horrible regime that
inbred.
Yeah, I mean, I can't go without that.
Yeah.
Have you seen Prince Charles's fingers? Those are some inbred fingers.
Yeah. I love that was like a trending meme. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? Oh, God. Disgusting. Oh, yeah. If you guys are at home, feel free to pause the podcast and Google his fucking fingers. Oh, but I think they're going to change all their money now, right? Don't they have to?
They have to, yeah.
It's, how much is that going to cost? And who's paying for that?
It's not me.
I mean, we're not.
It's not the European Union either, because they ain't in that anymore.
Man, they've been fucking up left and right. Holy shit! Isn't Boris, their prime minister, gone?
He's gone too. There's some other lady's gonna come step in, fuck shit up.
Yeah, I'm so sick of the UK. Can you name all the countries in the
ones
United
in
Kingdom?
the kingdom?
Yeah,
like the UK proper, right?
UK proper, not like their provinces,
not like Barbados
or
and,
like Jamaica.
Yeah,
no, but like
It is
UK classic or
yeah,
proper UK
classic.
proper.
Yeah. It's Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
part of Ireland,
Yeah.
Wales, England, and Shepherdshire.
Shepherdshire.
Yeah, Shepherdshire Field.
Oh, I think you forgot Hogwarts.
Yeah, no, that Hogwarts is actually in Scotland.
Oh shit! No, look at me. Look at me. The capital of Scotland is Hogwarts, and their national animal is a unicorn. Got it.
Yeah. It's a different education system.
Oh man, I cannot wait. To see like the people of England, or like even the United Kingdom. There's gonna be like a crazy breakdown in the monarchy of England right now. Like
I don't know if I did mention this last time I was here, if we were joked on it off mic, but I think like old King Charles is just fucking like, he's like, oh yeah, you think my fingers are fat? Like, oh yeah, you think I've been funny for all these years?
He's just go Mad King style,
Yeah.
burn them all.
Yeah, just completely. It's like, bye France.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, France is gone.
He should start pulling some crazy shit. Like be a fucking tyrannical king. Like just start, prima nocta on all the women. Like just go fucking nuts.
Just wearing the crown jewels everywhere.
Yeah. Just go to South Ireland and be like, we own you now. See what happens. Just say it. See what happens. Fucking England. Jesus Christ. There was I forgot what his name is. I think it's Robert Server. Robert Server. He is the owner of the Phoenix Suns basketball team, NBA, for all of you guys out there who don't know.
Mm-hmm. They had a gorilla as a mascot for a long time.
Yeah, I remembered that. I never understood that. Yo, some teams have some wild mascots. Like, it does not make sense.
I think their qualifier was if you could dunk a ball in the 90s. It was like, all right, well, you're in. Congratulations, you're a mascot.
Like, there's some things that are weird, like the Philly Frenetic, because, like, what's a Philly?
Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of the Philly hockey guy?
Nitty? Oh, Gritty. Gritty.
I'm a big fan of Gritty.
Gritty is funny. Mm-hmm. Gritty is funny. I mean, I don't even know the mascot of the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, there isn't, like, an official, like, they have the Laker girls, but, like, an actual mascot.
I don't think they ever needed one, right?
I mean, what's a lake? It's a thing in Minneapolis.
Yeah, ain't none here. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just like...
We got Silver Lake, but I don't think that counts.
Silver Lake. There's no lakes in Silver Lake. Fun fact. But yeah, apparently Robert Server is like a huge racist, and this is a surprise that an old white guy who owns a basketball team is racist. Who would have thunk?
I read this and I was like, oh, I thought that was like a prerequisite for owning a basketball.
I literally thought you'd check that
team.
out.
Yeah, it's like racist, old, check.
Like when Robert, not Rob, who was the Clippers owner who like got caught saying some racist
shit with his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Or is that a different owner?
No. Do you remember that guy's name? It was the Clippers owner. I want to say Roger Ailes, but Donald Sterling.
Yeah, that's the name.
Donald Sterling. Yeah, I was just saying like Roger Ailes, but I'm like, no, he's the other piece of shit racist womanizer that literally raped so many women that he died.
That's a lot.
That's what happened to him. But yeah, Donald Sterling, another piece of shit. And is this some surprise? Like, is this news?
No.
Dude, the media sometimes it's just holy shit, bro.
It's
pick your battles.
I mean, I don't like. I'm very white here, okay? But like, these are guys that literally like trade people for a living.
Yes.
Like, I don't, like they literally look at people as their skills and not as people.
Yes.
So I can see how racist. I can see the bridge to racism there being a pretty short one.
Man, what a piece of garbage.
Just call him like I see him, I guess.
Well, now that summer's like officially over, do you have any projects that you're going to be doing in the house? Like, it's getting cooler. I know that you and Nat are crafty people.
Yeah.
You guys are crafty individuals.
She is like, she has the power tools in the house are hers. Like, I have the comic books and the toys, and she has the power tool side of the garage. So I usually try to like help out whatever she's into.
Anything that's very high up.
Yeah, I help with high things, and then hanging kids, holding kids back when she uses the saw.
Yeah. You're the grabber, the claw grabber, and the moving seatbelt for the children.
That's right. If something involves a ladder, that's more than a couple rungs. This guy right here.
I'm gonna put up some lights in my backyard, and
that's one of the projects.
Yeah, like I want to put up the globe lights, the little string lights. Have a nice little feel because now it's getting cooler. Want to eat outside,
right?
Have some dinner outside. It's one of those things where like I've gotten everything I need. Like I keep finding like, ooh, I might need some curved nails. Oh, I might need some clips. I might need some tape. Oh, I need an extension cord. Oh, I need to get a ruler. Oh, I need to get a taller ladder. And like now I've compiled all this stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna open up all the lights, and I put them in this box, and I straightened all the wires. I tested all the lights, and now I'm just like, I'm gonna TaskRabbit this. I don't want to be up on a ladder. I got bigger fish to fry.
And wait, so TaskRabbit, like someone else had mentioned that earlier. So you just hire someone to do something for you. Is that what it is?
TaskRabbit is
it's like a temp service
it's
app.
Anything you want. You just look in there and you're like, I'm looking for a computer programmer. I'm looking somebody to clean my toilets. I'm looking somebody to put up a shelf. I'm looking for somebody to vacuum my floor. I'm looking for somebody to cut my grass. I'm looking for somebody to teach me how.
Wow, all
so
right.
How to, it's literally everything. I called it TaskRabbit because I got a new, like I'm pretty good. Like I'm a handy guy.
Yeah. Wait, before you go, these are people, not actual rabbits, right?
Well, depends.
Oh shit. Okay. There's a rabbit. You click on a box that says rabbit.
It's just a rabbit that shows up at your house. You give it a task and it doesn't complete it.
That motherfucker knows how to clean a drain.
Dude, all the rabbits have 1 star.
Unreliable.
But the first time I ever used it was to change out a faucet for my tub when I first moved into my house. It just had like what looked to be like a spittle almost. It was like from the 1940s. I'm like, this has never been used. So I had some hookups on some plumbing accessories, finishes.
Like all those older sinks, it seems like everyone back in the 30s hands were like baby hands. Like I can't wash my hands in those. I have to like curl up.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't. I don't know, man.
It's so. This is going to sound real daddy, real fatherish, but there's a company called Hansgrohe. All right, Hansgrohe makes all type of plumbing fixtures and finishes, like shower heads, everything. They're probably like one of the best in the business, and they just came out and like now everyone's doing it. I don't know why nobody ever thought of it, but it's a faucet that you change out. Like you unscrew your little your sink faucet edge, you unscrew it, and you screw this little compartment arm, and it turns 360 degrees. It can pull out farther. You can tilt it up. You can turn it up side down, so it just like sprays out a little bit, and you can extend all the way. I'm like, holy shit. How the fuck did we have the sink for this long and no one thought about that?
Give me the fountain
sink. I was just like, whoever was like sitting in the warehouse like, hey, boss, I got an idea. They're like, oh, okay. All right, you are now the CEO. But hey, we're going to take a quick break and come right back. Now that it's fall, we can go outside, have a smoke, and not burn up.
Let's do it. I feel less sweaty already.
Let's do it. This is Papa Don't Preach. We'll be right back. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with Bennett. So one interesting thing that occurred to me. When I grew up, I realized my life was like, when am I going to Disneyland or Six Flags? The commercials were all the time. You save a couple cans, you get the $19.99 tickets to go to the amusement park. And it was like, when was the next? I lived my life around when I was going to the next amusement park, and I guess I outgrew them. I'm not sure. Like, so obviously LA has a shit ton of amusement parks. We'll list them in a moment. Where you grew up, do they have?
No, like in Louisiana where I grew up, there was a handful. Like Astroworld was the biggest one in Houston. Like that was the one we used to go to. Like on
Houston, Louisiana.
No,
or Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas.
Okay,
like, that's
how far it was.
We had Blue Bayou, which is a water park that had roller coasters, but I actually had never gone to Blue Bayou.
Oh, really?
as referenced in the Little Wayne song.
The Little Wayne song.
Yeah.
Where you're from is funny.
Yeah. And then there was Jazzland, which was another Six Flags one in New Orleans, which I was about to take a job at working their Fright Fest, and then Katrina happened.
Oh, shit.
Like literally on the phone, like with the dude I used to work with, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you should totally come. You'll help me build sets. It'd be great." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" It's like, start next week, Katrina next week. And now it's just abandoned.
Damn.
It's one of those places that it's always on all those abandoned shows where it's been sitting for almost 2 decades now.
There's a couple that I would drive by when I was younger. I'm like, what is that? And my mom would be like, nobody's been there for decades. And I'm like, why is it there? Like, is it too expensive to take down? Or is it like
exactly
this pipe dream?
Yeah, it's
wild.
It's just all this fucking metal. You can't just tear down because it's built so well. So
yeah, that's funny. Fun fact about Six Flags. You know that one of the Six Flags is the Confederate flag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, old stars and bars, huh?
Yeah, it was like all the flags of the part, like
of who
of where the creators I think came together and built it. But it's a quick Google. It's very funny.
Like they acknowledge the Confederacy.
Yeah, they're like the Confederacy. It's a Confederate flag is one of the Six Flags of.
Well, God damn it, it's 5 Flags for me now.
It's 5 Flags Magic Mountain.
That's it. I worked there in college.
You did?
I did. I eventually did get that Magic Mountain Fright Fest job.
Hey,
so over here in California though, and it was fun. You go to you'd get a day pass when you weren't working and ride some rides, which is always fun.
Man, roller coasters are crazy.
They're
wild. Just think about what that is.
It is.
The idea.
It's like literally like, oh, hey, you want to feel like you're going to die for a few seconds?
That's
sure, let's do it. Can I go upside down too?
Oh,
yeah, let's do it.
There was a ride at Six Flags, and I remember I think it was called Viper. Mm-hmm. It had like 9 loops, and that was like one of the craziest things.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first time I went in there, it was like somebody put me in a fucking paint mixer. Like it was so shaky and rattly, and like it was a piece of shit roller coaster. And one of the things like you would see when you took this is like the guy that would roll out under the roller coaster who's just like raking up pagers and cell phones and wallets, and he's just like putting them in a bin and taking them to the office. And I was just like, who the hell would go on this thing? It is fucking wild. And there was another roller coaster at Six Flags called Goliath that's very new.
Yeah.
Like the biggest drop in the West.
Mm-hmm.
One thing they don't tell you about that ride is there's a certain part in the ride where it does like this little cyclone and starts to spin clockwise downward. Mm-hmm. And you can't breathe. It literally goes like Mach
like the G's
one.
Yeah, like that holding you down.
It just shoots down, and then you realize right there, you're like, I can't breathe. And then like you're out, and they're like, somebody should have mentioned that. Somebody should have mentioned that. It's fucking wild. But yeah, the Six Flags is one that's here. Another popular one that's not as popular anymore was Knott's Berry Farm. Do you remember Knott's Berry Farm?
Never gone to Knott's Berry or Not Scary.
Not Scary
familiar
Farm.
With they got the Peanuts as their mascots, unfortunately.
Wild. It's wild. It's Charlie Brown and Snoopy walking around. You're like, huh?
All right, I guess.
What? But yeah, Not Scary Farm. I do remember they got in a lot of trouble in the 90s. Not Scary Farm was like the first. It was bigger than Fright Fest at Universal. It was like no one went to Knott's Berry Farm, but when Not Scary Farm showed up, everybody went there, and they would hire so many actors, like people to like jump out of bushes, grab you. They turn off the lights when you're in the bathroom, and like they had a speakers like, and like it was every inch of it was just like anxiety. And every year, there would be this promotion because you like, oh shit, somebody did die from that last year. They're just like, oh, by the way, if you have heart conditions, and like, oh, by the way, you have to sign a consent form for people touching you. Oh, by the way, women have a buddy. Like, you're like, oh shit, what the fuck happened last year? But Universal Studios, how about that one?
I have been to that one. That one's a lot of fun. I've been Universal Studios is always my favorite. As a kid, my aunt lived out here, so I visited a few times with Disneyland, then Universal Studios, and then again when Harry Potter opened up. Yeah,
Universal, I think they do it right. I think they do it right.
I mean, give me an animatronic dinosaur and some butterbeer. I'm good with that. I haven't been to Disneyland as a grown-up though. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it with the kids.
It is a different experience with kids. It is not fun.
But the thing is, like, this is one of the things that our kids are still pretty young. Like, I don't want to take them until you can like really know what's up. Like, Because
Mhm.
dude will have fun with a balloon in the living room as much as going to Disneyland, and probably won't
always
cry afterwards.
I always thought that was wild. You go to Disneyland, you'll see like this couple with an 8-month-old. I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
What 8 hours in the sun is great for your baby? Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? But some getting the baby out there and doing there's benefits to it.
Oh sure. I mean, we like one of the things that I love doing, like growing up in Louisiana, like access to the ocean is obviously not something readily available. And when you get to the Gulf in Louisiana, it ain't pretty. So anytime I can take Miles to the beach, especially Manhattan Pier. Like we'll take his little bike and go right out there. I want to do Santa Monica Pier soon and do the games, which is really cool.
Santa Monica Pier, that's another one. Jesus Christ.
It's a lot.
Oh my God. Like I as a local, Santa Monica Pier is one of those places that you don't go. It's like a New Yorker going to Times Square.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah, I get
you won't
that.
catch me fucking dead there. You just got like this group of uber white midwestern motherfuckers all in the same shirt, just like, oh, Hollywood. And like, nah, bro, you're in Santa Monica. It's wild, man, and it's super weird. It's super weird, and anytime I have to go down there, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But the pier, they've revamped it a few times. There's different things they have. They have like the concerts at the pier, which are really, really cool. They have the movies at the pier, which are really cool. But yeah, that roller coaster and that Ferris wheel, woof, do not try it. I'm surprised it's not in the ocean. Like every day I wake up and I don't see a news story of the Santa Monica Pier Ferris wheel being in the ocean. Surprise to me. We're on the fault line, and they built a goddamn roller coaster on the ocean.
Well, I mean,
what?
It'd be a hell of a view hell of a last view. I am afraid of heights, so
Holy shit, you are.
So as roller coasters, like for whatever reason, I just put it aside for roller coasters, but for Ferris wheels and gondola rides and that shit, like I'd rather go to the dentist. Like I would do. Like last time I went to the Santa Monica Piers, like with my wife and my mom, we went I had dinner at Santa Monica, went out, and they're like, oh, let's do the Ferris wheel, and of course I don't think about it because it doesn't affect me every day.
Okay.
As soon as that shit goes up, though, I'm holding on to it for dear fucking life. Like holding on to the middle rail, like trying just to like, breathe through it. We're doing okay here. So yeah,
Does it get you like all dizzy, or you're
it
like
makes my
freaking?
knees lock.
Jesus.
It happened the other day. We're at the in Vegas. We're at like walking around the Venetian. I didn't know it was we're at a 3-story part, and just looked over the edge, and immediately my legs go like this. It's like I'm 10 feet away from the fucking edge, and still my body will just be like, oh, edge. So yeah, I don't want my son to see me like that yet.
Oh, gotcha.
So we're gonna avoid the Ferris wheel just for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, I've brought my kid to Disneyland, and he absolutely loves it. I realize the kid rides have not been improved since I was a kid.
Since 1968.
Yeah, like, dude, going on It's a Small World and like the Peter Pan ride and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I'm kind of like, I'm like, whoa, this is terrifying. Like, you're just like in this rickety old, and like the bozo, like he's sitting next to me. My son is sitting next to me. We're in the line. He's having fun. He's looking at all these pictures, and he's like, "Oh, Daddy, look at that! Oh, look at this!" And we get on that ride, and he is holding on to me for dear life. And I'm like, "This is for kids." There's just like this old rickety one-eyed thing popping up, like, like the Pinocchio ride, like going into the whale's mouth. Like he was not having it. He was
like, not liking that as a kid either. Yeah.
We're like literally going into the whale's mouth, and he's like covering his head, like,
oh yeah, it's like Pinocchio told you that's a bad thing.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was a wild ride.
Toad knew what's up.
But I would say Knott's Berry Farm, like Universal Studios. I know that King Kong, the ride, if burnt down, they decided to CGI it,
now
save money.
Like literally like that. The last time we went on the tram ride, I did not know it was going to be like that, and like I almost threw up. It's just shaking, and like you got 3D glasses on.
Yeah,
and
I hate this. I hate all of it.
You
see that tunnel, the little equilibrium tunnel you go through at Universal?
Never good. Dude. The shaking always gets me. This is a complete aside. I just did a show. Did a show at Universal Studios.
Okay.
So like as you're leaving your stage, you see the tram ride going. And this is, I don't know what to think of this information, but it's information that I have, and I've noticed it every time. So tram rides, you come, you get your 3D glasses, the little thin 3D glasses.
Yep.
I'm going to guess 5 to 10% of people just put those fuckers right on their face and just go out in public, just let the tram go. There's nothing 3D going on besides actual life. But they got their 3D glasses on because they're just handing a pair of 3D glasses. And I don't know what to feel or say about that, but I think it says something about our country.
Yes.
Or people in general.
Very accurate. Yeah, man. Like,
it's like literally, motherfuckers, these are stages. There's a dude riding a bike to a stage. Like, you don't need 3D glasses. This is 3D as it gets.
That guy looks really real.
You're just slightly tint now.
You know, I've worked on the back lot before on separate shows, and it's so funny because I've been on both sides of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been the guy on a cart driving to stage on the back lot, and I see the tram, and people are like, "Oh, who's that guy?" And like, look, I'm like, these fucking nerds, like these. You know, you avoid them. You don't make eye contact. You're like,
I
look at
wave
these,
every time.
look at these geeks. And you know, sometimes you embrace it. You're just like, hey, look at that. I'm not you. But I've been on the other side where I'm on the tram ride, and I'm like, oh, look at that. Look at this. Oh my God. You know, I've seen people I know on the tram ride, and I'm just. I'll be like, hey, I'm like, hey, Tony. Like, what the fuck is Obi doing on the tram?
Like, literally, like some of my friends came here to go see Conan and went to a taping, and I saw like a construction dude I knew waiting in line. I was like, what do you do? He's like, what are you doing? I was like, going to see Conan. He's like, what are you doing? I'm going to work. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
That's too funny. So I know on the other side of amusement parks are water parks, which I've always found kind of disgusting. And a huge waste of water. Like, water parks, I think, are something that needs to be replaced with gun parks, but that's a whole different argument.
I love that hot take personally.
Yeah, I just like have a gun park. You don't need water parks. I think people need access to guns. I think we should split the baby. They can keep their guns. Their gun parks. There are 3 in every city. You know, go have fun.
Yeah, that's a sizzling hot take. I love that.
Yeah. Debate me.
Yeah, I got defense arrest. I don't know, man.
Nah, but water parks are like. When was the last time you were on a water slide?
Being from the South, I have some experience with water parks. We used to go to Florida every year, and we'd go to, I believe it's still there, called Big Kahuna's.
Big Kahuna, I've heard of that. I thought that is it still there?
I think so.
Oh,
maybe, I don't know. Who knows? But it was amazing as a kid because they had like every kind of water park ride. You got your lazy rivers, you got your little slides, you got your giant slides in the dark.
Yeah, that's.
Big foam lily pads you slop on and kind of slide down.
Yeah, I love those ones. Yeah. The super slides where you look down and like that thing goes straight down. I'm not doing that.
Oh no.
Like,
or just like as an adult, we'll just smash your balls like to infinity.
Oh, there's like that's another thing that I always thought was like another microscope on the country is sending somebody 5 stories up, like. No safety speech, no nothing. Hey, keep your arms in, putting them on a tube and launching them down a wet slide. And I remember, like, walking up there, you'll see, like, you hear people, having fun. You're like, that looks cool. Every so often, you'll see this empty tube with a person wildly out of control, spinning in direction, like, just like, right at you, like, oh, that guy fucked up. And you just sit there in line with a smile. It's not going to happen to me.
It's like literally wild. Like you pick one of your legs up, you're
done. You're done. You're done. It's fucking crazy.
You're 4 stories up in the air, shooting down in a jet of water, and they're like, and the best they could tell you is cross your arms.
Right, cross your arms.
That's like, the best they give you.
That's it. Like hold the position that you would in a coffin. Good luck. Like, okay. I'm doing it, Ma. We had 2 water parks out here, I think it was Raging Waters and Wild Rivers.
Yeah, because there's one attached to Magic Mountain, right?
Yeah. No, that one was Hurricane Harbor.
Hurricane Harbor, exactly.
Hurricane Harbor. And, fuck, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'll tell you something about, Raging Waters was like the Six Flags of water parks. Like, it was like, crazy insane water slides and shit. Like it was Wild Rivers was kind of chill, just like here are a bunch of pools, couple slides. It was more of like adults came there to lounge. I always thought it was stupid to have one in California, but yeah, maybe in Bakersfield, but who cares? But yeah, I would say that Raging Waters is the most irresponsible water park I have ever been to. I don't know if the things have cleaned up since I was a child, but when I think back of some of the rides, no bueno. No bueno.
Yeah, I think we're right on the cusp of the class action lawsuit
Yes.
generation. So like, it really didn't hit until the mid '90s. They're like, wait a minute, I don't have to. They don't have to operate a slider with breaks necks every other time.
That's like a little literal sign, like 52 days since death. Since death. See, so just come up and change that to 0. You're like, oh shit. Okay.
Oh no! All right, well,
Go get my popcorn.
I'm already this far in line.
Yeah. One thing I noticed about having a child now is that, you know, when you do go to these amusement parks, there are rides that I'm like, I want to go on, but you know, I got to get Ozo a little bit of those Tims, those Timberlands, the lugs, get him a couple inches, irresponsible parent, to get him on like Jurassic Park, the ride. Like, it's just like, he's got to be 42 inches. I'm like, ooh, he's 39, but if I slap these little boots on him.
My little baby lips.
As I'm walking through, I'm like, oh, maybe there might be a reason he's not allowed on this ride. Just go down that last drop. He goes flying right outside the roller coaster.
Turn into a little pterodactyl real quick.
Yeah, I remember going on the Matterhorn at Disneyland, and I get in this little thing shaped like a bullet, and I'm trying to pull the little seat, the little buckle back, and I'm trying to pull it, and the guy said, well, just stretch your legs. I'm like, I can't. He's like, well, bend them then. I was like, wait, how's the answer to straighten my legs, but if that doesn't work, to bend them? So I'm literally sitting like a pretzel in this thing, and I'm like, grr, grr, grr. And, you know, I offered, I'm like, hey, can I put my bag here? He's like, no, it's fine, it'll fit. This is Disneyland, man.
Yeah.
I always thought like Disneyland, like Disney had a higher caliber of like, you know, I have like Zero being the carny that's, you know, spitting tobacco that pulls a red button, a red lever. And then there's Disneyland, you know, they are pristine.
No, they took better lawyers.
Bro, going in that thing, I was like, I'm never going on that ride again. I do not fit on it. I can't believe this person saw me struggling. Like, it had to be a joke. It had to be like, oh, go check out cart number 9. We got poured a nice little black dude in there. Doesn't really fit. I'm like, it was not cool. Fuck that guy.
Two things real quick. Last time out, first off, do you know the Disney rumor that like there's never been a death at Disney Park because
I know about this
because they don't declare them dead at Disney. You have to wait to the hospital.
Yep.
I don't know if it's a rumor or true, but I think it's a funny thing. Anyway, back to not fitting on a ride. Last time I was at Universal Studios, Harry Potter experience ride. Go through it. It's gorgeous on the inside. It's really cool. It's like you're in Hogwarts. We're about to get in line for the ride, and one of those little Harry Potter guys came up to me and was like, hey, have you been in the seat before? And it's like, that's a very specific question to ask me, sir. So he pulls me over, and I sit like in a little mock plastic seat, and they try to get it on me, and it's like, I don't think it's going to, you know, he's like, I don't think it's safety. I was like, yeah, you don't have to tell me, buddy. I know. I don't have to worry about this. I'll skip this one. Hey, have you ever fit in the seat before? It's like, what?
I'm really on the cusp.
Me, huh?
I'm on the cusp. It depends how much I stretch that morning if I will fit in a ride. Because like there's some where like, you know, we went to Disneyland for 2 days. One day, Space Mountain, no problem. That next day we're like, oh, let's try Space Mountain again. I went on that thing. I was like, get the hell? I can't wiggle. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was all the funnel cake. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, amusement park food. Oof. Do you remember like one of your like one thing that sticks in your mind that you got in an amusement park? You're like, once I'm going there, I'm getting this thing. There's like one. I remember one that looked good was like the pickle dog at Disneyland. You know, and we're like, oh, we have to come and get this. It's literally they take a giant dill pickle, hollow it out, stick a hot dog in the middle, and then deep fry it. And you're like, oh yeah, pickle dog. I bite into this fucking thing, and hot pickle juice comes pouring out. It's everywhere. Once you bite into a pickle dog, like the structural integrity of the dog is gone. So it's just like a pickle and a hot dog, like laying in this flimsy ass piece of cardboard that can't handle getting wet at all.
No.
With something that's filled with pickle juice. It was the worst experience of my life. I hated the fucking pickle dog.
I don't have, well, the only thing similar is like during Mardi Gras in Louisiana, there's always like little stands everywhere. So I got chicken on a stick one time and took a big old drunken bite, just fucking raw fried chicken. That was a rough one. Ugh. That was the last chicken on the stick I got.
Damn. That sounds like a terrible experience.
It was like, oh no. It was, you know, like after the parade too. This wouldn't even be, this was early in the night. This is after the parade.
That's when, like, you know, there's certain things you shouldn't do when you're drunk. You know, like I think there should be like a breathalyzer on your phone. Like if you start drinking too much, you just shouldn't. You should lose all access to texting unless it's an emergency.
Yeah, it should be like certain apps should block out. I think that's a good idea.
Or it should be like forwarded to your emergency contact, like your brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're like, hey babe, you up? You send some fucking text. It goes straight to your brother. Your brother's like, nah, locking his phone.
Yeah, I think literally like they shouldn't, like you cannot send a link, you cannot send a photo past this time.
Past this time, you're not. Nope. You have to breathe right into the phone.
Of questionable copy and paste I did that almost ended up in the wrong spot. Like it's like my mom does not need to see that link.
Yeah. I forward memes that should not be forwarded, and I'm like, ugh. But that, and you know, when you're at an amusement park and you're day drinking all day, there's times where I've gotten to a point where I like stopping at some place, I'm getting something to eat, and I'm like, holy shit, I should not be putting this in my mouth right now. Like, holy fuck, this seems like a terrible idea. And I remember like distinctly at Universal Studios, drunkenly shoving, for those of you who don't know, there's a Simpsons ride at Universal, and there's a little Quickie Mart that sells Quickie Mart stuff in a reference to the Simpsons show. And they sell like the big donuts, like these giant pink donuts with the sprinkles, the signature Simpson donuts. And they're gigantic. They can feed like 4 people. And I remember just like huffing this thing down, drunk as shit, not realizing that I'm eating in, it has to be 200 grams of sugar.
Yeah, at least like, what, 4 donuts?
It's like 4 or 5 donuts, like just shove it in my mouth. And then I stumbled onto a fucking bacon-wrapped turkey leg. There's a place called Brontosaurus Burger, which was it was fashioned after the Flintstones franchise. And I remember getting like this giant Brontosaurus leg that was wrapped in bacon. And like I ate this thing. And after like the first bite I swallowed, I got a little rumble in my tumble. Like I was like, uh-oh. Just heard this in my stomach. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel well. Hold on, let me wash this down with some beer. Fucking drank that, and as I finished, it just started to come up, and I did and so I like stumbled to the bathroom, and I just yacked out pink goo, and it was like the worst experience of my life. They're like, oh yeah, Obi's drunk. I'm like, I don't think that's the alcohol. I think the alcohol didn't help, but eating 7 donuts and a giant turkey leg,
and followed up with a turkey leg dessert.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think that might have been it.
Maybe if I ate it the other way around. Maybe if I ate the turkey leg wrapped in bacon first, and then the donut.
Yeah, I think that math checks out.
Yeah, that math ain't mathin', bro.
That digestive math checks out. We when I worked at Six Flags, I don't know if the case anymore, but they didn't really have like a cafeteria. They had what was called the Oasis, which was just like on one side it was a chicken finger and fry stand, on the other side it was a chicken finger and fry stand for the staff. So they didn't offer like lunch or anything, but like you get buy discounted fingers and like other park food. And people would frequently say they had got Oasis poisoning just because of like
that's
literally poisoning. All they offered, like for people working like full shifts like in costume and shit. It's like, well, here's some chicken fingers for $4.
No funnel cake.
They might have. I just got the chicken fingers because everything else was inedible. That's the thing. It's like I don't have any like good memories because like I ate the park food for a long time.
Yeah, most park food is like really bad except for like the carny food where it's like, oh, that's fun. Like when you go to the LA County Fair, the Orange County Fair, there's always like those like deep fried something or other.
Yeah, I mean, a funnel cake is. Give me a funnel cake any day.
Funnel cake is dope. Yeah. It's dope. But I do remember how dangerous Six Flags was. Like for any of you guys listening that are not in LA, I've never been to the Six Flags here in Santa Clarita in like the Los Angeles area. Man, it was like gang territory. It was super dangerous. Oh yeah. There was people that were getting stabbed. Like the LAPD was there in force at some points. Like you'd be like, why is the fucking sheriff's department here walking around the park? I'm like, that seems stupid. And then you'd leave and see a news story of like this fight that broke out. Like, oh, at the Batman ride, somebody got a fucking bottle broken over their head. I'm like,
slashed up.
I'm like, y'all still selling bottles? What the fuck?
I thought you were talking about like the people that had died on the rides.
No,
because those are stories that we had heard about, like at least one decapitation that I had heard about. I'm just trampling all over my NDA. I don't know if I signed an NDA.
Yeah.
But what Six Flags, I'm sure other companies do, is they get a bunch of hires from like Southeast Asia or other countries for like a summer exchange program where they exchange your work for very little money, and they give you housing and shit. So every once in a while, like one of those dudes would just like not read the sign and just get his head knocked off.
Jesus.
So that was one of the that was like there was like a spot that like there was painted over, and that was, we were told, like that's where the blood stain was. No idea if it was real, but that's what like the old school Six Flaggers would tell us.
Fuck, man.
Another one of my wonderful Six Flag memories. I used to work backstage, and like not during Fright Fest, we'd do like stage tech stuff. So we'd like, you know, help other stations, like make sure they were, had equipment and drop off water jugs to stations. So I worked with this one old dude, and he was like in his 80s. So if I worked with him, like I did all the work, but I know, guaranteed in the middle of the day, we had a nap time, and he had the best nap spot I've ever seen in any work ever.
Get the fuck out of
He
here.
found, I don't know how he found it, but he had keys to it. It was like a room, like a, you know, like one of those classrooms, like portable classroom style rooms.
Yeah, like a bungalow almost.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like, you know, like just stocked full of characters they didn't use anymore. So it was like defunct Space Jam characters and weird Six Flags characters, just all like sagging and looking dead-eyed. And it was ice cold, so we'd go take a nap in this room surrounded by dead-eyed characters until we got a call on the walkie, and it was the best.
Seems peaceful.
Like honestly, I was, because like no one knew it existed. Like he just had found it, and it was like these characters that like no one had, you know, hadn't used for a decade or so. That's for the parades and shit.
Feels like that's one of those little spaces where like you're in there thinking that you're the only one, and then like this drunk couple stumbles in there and starts banging, and you just have to be quiet, holding yourself like, oh god.
And Marva the Martian like looks at you.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh shit. Well, I want to, like, when your kids are of age, you're gonna take them to what's like your go-to? What do you think?
We're I mean, sooner than later we do Universal, because we're like, Nat and I are both Harry Potter nerds. So we'll probably do that just to like, I'm a Simpsons nerd.
You Hufflepuff?
I'm a definite Hufflepuff.
Okay.
I'm such a Hufflepuff. I took the test twice because I didn't like the answer the first time, and I got it 2 times. Like, God damn it. Yeah, Hufflepuff it is.
I haven't taken it yet. I haven't taken the test, but we'll do it during the break, and we'll see what I come back as. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, Universal is just down the road, so it's easy. You know, it's not like a whole day trip, and I honestly think it's one of the best around. I do remember something that I guess doesn't play well that much, but if you haven't been to Universal's, another thing that they have is a bunch of in the park, a bunch of actors walking around. Like these are people who just took gigs, and they have various skills. There's, you know, every so often you'll see the hip hop cleaning crew. I don't know if you've seen that one before.
Not, no.
So the hip hop cleaning crew is hilarious. So these guys that roll around those big, like 3-gallon dumpsters, you know, the ones that are shaped like a giant shovel with the wheels.
Yeah.
And they're pushing it, and they're pretending to sweep, and you see them start to like argue, like they're getting wild, and people are like, oh shit, look at these guys. And they're just like, hey man, give me my broom back. But like, you know, if you've been to the park, you know it's a bit. And then like the guy like hits the trash can, and like the front falls down, it's speakers, and they do like this whole choreographed dance. And then once it's done, people clap, they pick it up, and they just go back to sweeping and like literally picking up trash. You're like, man, that's great. I do remember when you're walking into the park, there's like the old Italy. Like it's like backlots. And so this old Italy part, it's super problematic now, would have like this Jersey-esque Italian dude in a wife beater hanging out the window, screaming across the house at another Italian guy, or you'll see him like arguing with his wife. And it was very funny at the time, super problematic now. But it was like, he's like, hey, yo, hey, what are you looking at? He like interact with the crowd. Like, hey, what's the matter with you? What are you looking at? You looking at my wife? And it's like the girl would pop in like, hey, Henry, who's looking at me? Like aggressively chewing gum. And but there's like all types of actors that walk around, and it's very fun. It's very entertaining. But Universal would be the spot. Like there's not a lot of rides, but it just all the cool shit that you can do when you walk around. Cool to see. Yeah, it's really good. And then there's the donkey impersonator, which not really great. There's this guy who's sitting on like a puppet and for Shrek, and which is funny because like Shrek is DreamWorks, you know, like, but it's just donkey sitting there, and it's animatronic, and it's just a guy speaking and talking shit to everybody.
This is a really great opportunity for me to do my Eddie Murphy impersonation, which goes like this.
No. I was like at the edge of my seat. I'm like, yes, let me see this.
Nope, not this week.
If anybody wants to be in studio right now, Bennett's in complete blackface. And it looks good on him. It looks really good. I'm not offended at all. You did it well.
I did it really fast.
Yeah. All right. We're going to come back with our last segment and take a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, you've done it. You're almost there. This Papa Don't Preach will be right back.